Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video, we're going over the latest updates from Ryujinx, an amazing Nintendo Switch emulator. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, this progress report is hot off the press. I'm going to drop a link to it in the description below and I highly recommend checking it out. First up here, they've added in some support for a bunch of different Amiibo, Animal Crossing Series 5 Amiibo to be specific, and 48 of them. If you're an Animal Crossing fan, well, you should be pretty happy with this list. Next up, we have a bunch of different GPU fixes. The first fix here reads a little bit technical, so I'll just sum it up at a high level. Sometimes using OpenGL, you got errors where a texture would be solid black. In certain situations, this will fix that. They've also added in draw texture functionality, which fixes games like Steel Assault here, as well as Final Fantasy VII. They've also added in some fixes here that help out with lighting in certain games. For example, Disaster Report 4. Here is before and, well, here is after, and it looks a heck of a lot better. They've also fixed custom anisotropic filtering here to help out with certain games. For example, Astral Chain here, before with 16 times handheld on. You can see there are some red lines that don't look quite right. And afterwards here, well, it looks a heck of a lot better. They've added in better depth range detection. For example here, if you're playing Bastion using OpenGL, it looks a heck of a lot better. Now moving on from that, they also did a .NET 6 update. What you need to know about that is you might notice a small performance increase, so that gets a big thumbs up. They've also fixed an issue with their sleep timing accuracy, and this will help out certain games. For example, Breath of the Wild here. They say greatly improves loading speeds in Breath of the Wild 1.00. Before they were very long and inconsistent, now they are short 3 to 5 times faster and consistent, so that also gets a big thumbs up. Now just a minute ago we talked about Ryujinx adding in a bunch of support for Animal Crossing Amiibo, and they've also made another Amiibo improvement here. They haven't perfected it just yet. But now with Amiibo Nicknames, it defaults to your Nintendo Switch profile name instead of having nothing. Now here's an improvement that I'm really happy about. Don't blow up everything if a DLC file is moved or renamed. So previously, if you had a DLC file for a game and you decided to move it to a different folder altogether, well, Ryujinx didn't really like that at all. It didn't know what to do with it, and you could essentially break Ryujinx, and now that won't happen. Last up here in the progress report, this is a big one, but it hasn't made it into the emulator just yet. And if you're using an NVIDIA GPU, you should be very interested to know that they're still working on ARB. At a really high level here, this has to deal with shader stutter and loading times. Once they're done the ARB work and it makes its way into the emulator, games will play a lot faster, gameplay will be smoother, loading times will be quicker, and things will be a lot better for Ryujinx. At the end of the day here, a lot of these changes for Ryujinx were behind the scenes changes, but they had a pretty big improvement for the end user, us. If you are at all interested in helping out the Ryujinx project, they do have a Patreon up and running, and they're almost at their next goal here, which is texture packs and replacement capabilities. I do recommend at least taking a look at their Patreon page because some of their perks here are pretty good if you're a patron. Anyways, that is all I've got for this video. Let me know your thoughts about Ryujinx in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts about these improvements to Ryujinx in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Thank you everyone, take care.